With the new legendary crafting system update coming out and allowing us to scrap legendary gear for a chance to unlock these new legendary mod boxes, along with the plans for these new legendary mod boxes, here are the 10 legendary effect plans you want to grind for all your melee weapons. This is the final part in a 4-part series, so if you haven't checked out those other videos, make sure you do. But let's start this list off at number 10. Kicking things off at number 10, first off, is a big shout out to all you Vats users out there. Vats is basically the meta and is in charge of every single legendary role that you want to get, basically. If you use one of the two metas, which is either Vats or Heavy Guns. So, Vats, this one's for you, and that is the Lucky Legendary Effect. If you don't know the Lucky Legendary Effect, this beauty grants a plus 15 bonus to your Vats critical chance. It might not be the most groundbreaking effect in the entire world, but it'll definitely boost your DPS. And on top of all of that, to craft it, all you need is a luck bobblehead, which isn't the rarest thing in the entire world. You could buy a mystery bobblehead pack and get one in there, or I'll have a bobblehead video coming out soon for everyone, so you could at least get one type of every single bobblehead. Super easy if you have Fallout first. So the lucky legendary effect is going to come in at number 10. You need a bobblehead to craft it, and it is really nice. It'll increase your DPS if you have a chainsaw with the lucky effect on it, and if you run a Vats melee build, you definitely can output some damage on it. I like to have it on my auto axes for my melee boss builds, and it just basically increases your DPS significantly because it adds a higher Vats critical chance. So you'll be outputting more DPS and you'll be outputting more crits. It's a win-win. Definitely not a bad legendary effect to have, and that's why it's coming in at number 10. And scooting right past the number 10 slot, at number 9, we have another must-have for all of you Vats aficionados out there, and that is the Vital Legendary Effect. If you don't know the Vital Legendary Effect, this gem offers a whopping plus 50% critical damage, which is fucking huge for DPS in so many different ways, and many players consider it a god tier role. I personally love slapping it on all of my automatic melee weapons like the chainsaw or the auto axes. It's perfect for bossing, and it's perfect just for getting rid of mobs too, because each critical hit that you have is just going to be so strong. That's why it's perfect for going up against higher health enemies or higher armor enemies like the raid bosses or any of the nuke bosses or anything like that. So in order to craft it, you'll need a serum. In particular, you'll need the Eagle Eye serum to craft this effect, which can be a little bit pricey for newcomers. If you're a veteran, don't worry about it. You probably have all of the serum plans unlocked, and you should be able to craft it with shit that you just have at your camp. But for newcomers, keep an eye out for player vendors selling serums. A lot of people have been selling serums at a little bit of higher prices now because they're actually useful, besides just giving you the mutations. But basically, all of the serums now can be used in crafting, so just keep an eye out. A lot of people are selling them in their vendors for a little bit of caps. So, Vital coming in at number 9, it's huge for Vats aficionados, and it basically just increases your critical damage by 50%, which is huge, 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 huge. Again, it is great for DPS, and it is among one of the few god rolls that melee weapons can have, in my opinion. So that's why it takes the number 9 spot. It could be a little bit higher on the list, but we have some other gems on here. So let's move on to number 8. And sliding in at number 8 is a little bit of a controversial pick. If you see my other list videos, then you know that that pick is the Furious Legendary Effect. If you don't know the Furious Legendary Effect, it adds plus 5% damage per stack, 9 stacks maximum, for a total of 45% damage every single time that you just continually hit the same target. So, as you could tell, this is a great effect for auto melee weapons like the auto axe and the chainsaw. And a couple of weeks ago, it got a huge, huge, huge buff. So it's an absolute fucking powerhouse on those weapons. Seriously, if you're looking into rocking a full health melee build, you need a chainsaw with the Furious effect. In my opinion, it's the way to go. It shreds like crazy. Or if you could afford to get an auto axe with it, even better. And it is super, super, super cheap to craft. All you need to craft this beauty is just one Fury. Super cheap, especially if you're a pack rat like me and you hoard every chem you find. But Furious, it did just get a huge buff, and it is now working as intended. So if you have a full health build, it's definitely not a bad idea to farm out some Furious weapons and to hopefully unlock the effect. I suggest throwing it on the auto axe or the chainsaw. Ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to lucky number 7, and coming in at lucky number 7, big shout out to all those Vats players again, and that is the Inertial Legendary Effect. If you don't know the Inertial Legendary Effect, this effect replenishes 15 action points with each kill. So, as you could tell, I'm gonna say this is invaluable if you're using a auto melee weapon like the auto axe or the chainsaw, because that's its ammo. It uses AP. The more AP you have, the longer you could hold down the trigger of the auto axe or the chainsaw. So if you're killing one enemy, you get 15 action points back, and you're barely using any AP with your auto axe, you basically can hold down the trigger forever as long as you continually kill enemies. And obviously, it's extremely cheap to craft. You'll just need 10 canned coffee, so it might be time to invest in a coffee machine. If not, you could get it from players, vendors, or just bunch of random fucking locations like that. So just keep an eye out. There's a bunch of guides out there, and I'll be coming out with a guide soon. But seriously, if you see a coffee machine in the shop, it's time to invest in one. So lucky number 7 goes to Inertial. Great skill, great for Vats players. Like I said, it replenishes 15 action points with each kill. I highly recommend that you all go and grind for it. You're definitely not going to want to miss it. It can increase your DPS greatly. The more action points you have with a chainsaw or an auto axe, like I said, the more enemies you could kill, the longer you're going to be able to hold down that trigger and deal damage. Up at number 6, again, I'm sorry for saying this, we have another VATS legendary effect, and of course, I'm talking about the VATS optimized legendary effect. If you don't know the VATS optimized legendary effect, well, you better get pretty fucking familiar with it, because it's an absolute game changer. It grants minus 25% action point cost for just your weapon when you're using it, making it perfect for anyone looking to maximize their DPS, if, of course, you use an auto melee weapon like an auto axe or a chainsaw. But if you are a melee user, you probably have one of those two weapons, because they are must-haves for dealing serious damage as a melee player. It's basically the only way to take down bosses. Well, excuse me, the headhunter scythe also is pretty fucking fantastic, as you're seeing in the footage here. It could do some serious damage, but everyone knows the auto axe and the chainsaw is how you get some real melee DPS. So in order to craft the Vats optimized legendary effect, all you need is fucking 10 sugar. So really easy. You better start stocking up. Like I said, if you have Fallout first, you should be able to get this within fucking 1 or 2 server restarts. So Vats optimized coming in at number 6. Complete game changer for everyone that uses Vats, which is most of the player base out there. I literally throw this mod on basically every single auto melee weapon that I use. Any auto axe I have, I try to get this legendary effect. Any chainsaw I have, I try to get this legendary effect. If I'm going for a god roll, it's pretty much a requirement in my book and many other players' books. That's why it's at number 6, but we're almost halfway through. Let's move on to number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. We've made it halfway through this list, and coming in at number 5 is actually a 7-way tie among all of the special boosting legendary effects. So we have strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. Each one is super useful depending on your build and playstyle. Personally, I recommend going after intelligence for XP farming and strength for extra carry weight. However, agility is also super nice to have if you want a little bit more AP or anything like that. So depending on whatever your playstyle is, it's awesome to have a melee weapon that has strength on it, so then you can have a little bit extra carry weight, like just running around West Tech, or farming legendary weapons. It makes it a little bit nicer. And then again, same thing for if you have a full or if you have a melee weapon with the intelligence mod on it. It just gives you some extra intelligence +3, so then you're able to get a little bit more XP per kill and level up a little bit sooner. And of course, all you need to craft it is the corresponding bobblehead. So if you have a if you want to go for the strength legendary effect, all you need is a strength bobblehead to craft it. If you want to go after the charisma legendary effect, all you need is a charisma bobblehead to craft it. So again, keep an eye out for those, or you could buy the mystery pack of the bobbleheads, I believe a couple of times per day or once per day. But regardless, I will have a bobblehead video coming out soon. I don't know if you guys are able to tell, but they're becoming much more useful. They're not just little stupid things that you leave around, or just like a leader bobblehead that you pop to get some more XP. So Coming in at number 5 is all of the special boost legendary effects. I suggest you just go after all of them. It's really nice to have because you never know when you're going to need some extra charisma or when you need some extra agility or luck or anything like that. So all 7 of them are super useful. Go and get them if you can. Again, strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, luck. All you need is a corresponding bobblehead to craft it, and then you're golden. You could have extra strength, extra intelligence, whatever you need. It is so useful depending on whatever playstyle you have, and it could fit whatever you playstyle you have. If you are a bloodied user or if you are a full health user, these come in handy no matter what. So now that we are over halfway, coming in at number 4, we've got the rapid legendary effect. If you don't know, again, this is basically a must-have for anyone in the game, not just Vats users, and also not just melee weapons users. This legendary effect on actual weaponry is also fucking amazing. But if you don't know the rapid legendary effects, it grants plus 40% weapon speed, which can significantly boost your DPS. The faster you swing that scythe or axe, the more damage you dish out. The faster you rev that chainsaw or you rev that auto axe, the more damage you dish out. This skill directly affects your DPS, just like the other skills that are going to be on the top 3, basically. Some of the other skills, I should say. I don't want to spoil it, but completely a game changer. Again, plus 40% weapon speed on a chainsaw or on a auto axe or on a super sledge just makes it fucking broken, and I highly suggest you get it and at least try it out on a chainsaw or auto axe just because it is so fun to use. I promise you it'll turn those weapons into boss destroyers no matter your build. Bloodied or not bloodied, bloodied or full health, this thing will turn you into a DPS monster. Now, again, it is a little expensive to craft. Unfortunately, you'll need another serum. In specifics, you'll need the speed demon serum. So check those player vendors if you can't craft one yourself, or complete the Enclave storyline and then get the plan. And it is a little bit expensive to craft, but the plans are worthwhile. You're gonna need a lot of serums to craft these awesome legendary effects. So rapid coming in at number 4. All you need is a speed demon serum. Definitely don't want to miss out on this legendary effect. Just a great boost to your DPS. We've made it to number 3. Congratulations, we have made it to the Olympics of legendary effects for your melee weapons in Fallout 76. And of course, claiming that bronze medal at number 3 is the fan favorite. It has a little cult of its own, and that is the anti-armor legendary effect. If you don't know, this bad boy grants plus 50% armor penetration on whatever weapon you throw it on, making it a killer choice for DPS against bosses and heavily armored foes like super mutants, Mylar Queens, or those bloody super mutant behemoths. And all you need is 5 black titanium to craft this, which is super easy to gather. Everyone should have that in their stash, basically. Not really hard to get. So, anti-armor, if you don't know, now you know. It's one of the best legendary effects in the game for DPS. It's kind of fallen off a little bit in recent years, but it still has its own little fan club, and some people swear that an anti-armor uh, auto axe is significantly better than the bloodied anti-armor auto axe, and it just feels better to use, and it could do more DPS. I don't know if that's true. I don't think it's true because I'm pretty sure bloody just can output the most DPS. But anti-armor coming in at number 3, it is a beautiful legendary effect, and if you're able to get it, consider yourself lucky, because if you're grinding for any other legendary effect and if you get this, throw it on, you'll have your perfect DPS weapon until you're able to get a god roll on something else. Anti-armor on an auto axe, anti-armor on a chainsaw, anti-armor on a headhunter scythe, or anything like that is fucking amazing. Sorry, not a headhunter scythe, I meant a super sledge. I apologize. But you throw anti-armors on anything and you basically just take away all of your enemy's armor, just putting them down to their squishy little health pool, which for most enemies in this game is nothing. So this is amazing for DPS. It's super easy to craft. Definitely don't want to miss out on anti-armor. Try and get it as fast as you can. It's great for any weapon, not just melee weapons. If you know, you know. Moving on to number 2. Now, I know that I said that the top 3 would basically just be DPS enhancers, but we're going to talk about a little different legendary effect, and that is going to be coming in at number 2, taking the silver medal, and that is the Vampire's legendary effect, aka the I don't want to die ever legendary effect. If you don't know the Vampire's legendary effect, it restores 2 health over 2 seconds when you hit a target, and trust me, that little boost makes a world of difference. It is a, oh shit, I'm in trouble, I can't use a stim pack, let me just hit the boss or hit any enemy with this, boom, full health. You could literally run up to Earl with a Vampire's Chainsaw or Auto Axe and just continually hit him with it and never go down, especially if you have good AP. If you slap this on a Chainsaw or Auto Axe, you'll have a healing weapon that keeps you alive like no other. It's basically the melee version of the Holy Fire. I highly suggest you get it, except it's going to have extremely limited range. So for some melee weapons, like if you run a Bloodied build, this is kind of a necessity to stay alive in those tricky situations. And in order to craft it, you'll just need a very fitting 10 blood packs, which are super common in the Wasteland. So number 2 is going to go to the Vampire's legendary effect. Again, everyone should have a healing weapon that they switch to. You should have one huge DPS weapon and then just one healing weapon that you could throw on, and then some other weapons that you just fuck around with. But I highly suggest everyone have a healing weapon. And in my opinion, when I'm on my melee character, not doesn't matter if it's full health or bloodied, I have a Vampire's Chainsaw, and then I have a DPS Auto Axe for my main damage. So again, Vampires coming in at number 2. Don't want to miss it. Just need 10 blood packs to craft it. Get it as fast as you can. All right, and of course, claiming the gold medal, number 1 is the community favorite, the king of the meta. Everyone knew what it was going to be, and that's the motherfucking Bloodied legendary effect. This is the best DPS effect in the entire game, hands down. It's been a staple in Fallout 76's meta since basically the launch. If you don't know, the Bloodied legendary effect grants a damage increase of up to 95% as your health decreases. This thing is just stupid. It makes you it makes it so then you just basically put out almost 100% more damage. It is a stupid weapon, and it is, or a legendary effect, and it is the best DPS enhancer in the entire game. It's the ultimate glass cannon effect, essential for any weapon user, whether you're wielding melee weapons, heavy guns, or auto rifles. And to craft this top tier effect, of course, it's going to be a little expensive, but nothing too crazy. You'll need 1 adrenal reaction serum. Pretty fitting, but not impossible to score. Like I said, check those player vendors if you don't have access to any of the other serums, or just complete the Enclave storyline and buy the fucking plan. It's going to be a little expensive, but you got it. So number 1 obviously is going to go to the Bloodied legendary effect. If you have a Bloodied Auto Axe, congrats, that's going to be your damage dealer. If you have a Bloody Chainsaw, congrats, that's going to be your damage dealer. There's no real arguing about it. Everyone knows Bloodied is the most sought after effect. If you want to know how to get Bloodied, I have a video on my channel. It's super easy. You basically just craft and scrap the unstoppable monster with the Scrapper perk and the Super Duper perk. But check out the video I will leave in the description. Super useful. I promise you'll get Bloodied probably within a day of farming for it. You don't want to miss out on it. So, number 1, Bloodied effect. Everyone saw it coming. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen of the Wasteland, my top 10 legendary effects for melee weapons in Fallout 76. Thanks so much for wrapping up this series with me. Be sure to check out the other videos in this series to see which effects you should chase for your armor and range weapons. Now, of course, I know this list isn't perfect, so let me know what you changed, or if I'm 100% spot on in your opinion. What effects are you grinding for? And of course, have you snagged the Bloodied crafting effect plan yet? Let me know in the comments. Good luck out there. Those drop rates can be brutal. They are basically 1% or a 0.5%. And as always, I just want to thank you motherfuckers for watching this motherfucking video. It makes me want to make more motherfucking videos for all of you people out there. Until next time, stay safe in the Wasteland. I appreciate you all. And again, good luck getting your most sought after legendary effect plan. I hope you conquer the Wasteland.